Hello and welcome to the seasonal CDF on the OPTIC DL former COSO thingy installation. We're going to have a ton of fun. First of all, we're going to test quite a new documentation style that basically stems from when you go to the deploy Ops cost reporting on premises. There's like a button that you press, and it gives you this step-by-step collapsible procedure that very much looks like the one that was used for OBM in the past or some upgrade steps. And yeah, so I like it a lot. I like this approach a lot because it's kind of sequential, although I got used to old documentation style and it's still present. I mean, you can still browse the other way with the full tree structure, but we'll give it a try. And I decided instead of upgrading to go with the installation from scratch because I saw that this is an opportunity for me to do it with a really low effort of just importing BVD dashboards and setting up some permissions on the new environment while removing the history and all of the mistakes of the previous deployments, and also just to get it documented properly now when I get to try it. And also there are quite a lot of changes, right? So first of all, I'm going to create a general worker. That's going to be a worker that would be used as a template when I need to expand the amount of workers. So initially I'll start with 3, but what I found out in previous releases is that if you want to add a new worker, there are some problems with it. So I'm going to prepare a generic one that would allow me to scale my environment on demand. So basically, like a repository of or a template worker that I can clone and use. So I'm going to prepare just one worker, and then I'm going to replicate it several times, as many times as I need, and those would be my workers in the environment. Of course, going to be setting up the master using AppHub, and all new NFS and the disk size changes are here reflected, so I don't need to diverge from the out-of-the-box setup. Unfortunately, it means that I'm going to use a lot of disk space, and I don't like to overuse resources. I like to be very conservative with them, actually. And I'm going to install a external Postgres for this week. This is something entirely new. And the idea is that if I want to have a joint reporting between NOM, OBM, and DCA, I need to use the external database configuration, because later when I configure the reporting for other stuff, I need to point them into an external database during my configuration. An internal one would not cut the cookie. Probably there is a workaround, but it's not supported and not nice. So now I'm just going to create a whole new cluster. So if you see here 6 servers, but in fact, those are going to become, what is it? Those are 5 servers. So 5 servers actually going to become, I think, 8 servers later when I'll replicate the worker. So let's start working on it. So this is my CDF cluster after a reboot. So I did a time sync and that's it, nothing else. So some of the steps are pretty common between all of them, right? Like YAM update. And oh, by the way, I'm using a new template, 8.1, I think, right? Maybe, I'm not really sure. Uname -A, I think, right? It doesn't say which one is it, but as you see, the kernel is not 3.10 anymore, so that's definitely newer. Is it TTC release? Release. Is it TTC release? Let's see. There is no. Oh, it's a OS release, right? Yeah. And this is CentOS 8 for sure. Not sure which minor version, but we don't really care. Okay, so we got all of those things. We have our documentation open here on the second screen. You know what? I'm going to keep it on this screen. Okay, so activate Docker Hub account. I already did that. Download the required installation packages. I actually did that and already transferred them to the server. Now there is a thing that I need to do, and I don't think check the SSH configuration. is active SSH. Right, so one of the things that I noticed in the upgrade process that I needed to set up the passwordless configuration for SSH between all of those servers. And I think that I will add this, just based on experience, I will add this as a step in the installation procedure. And I think this video is going to be quite long. I mean, it's already 5 minutes long and we didn't even start, but there's a lot of things to do. This is a big deployment. So definitely, if you're still here with me for some reason, then you understand what you are here for. So prepare a relational database. Right, it basically says that you need the database is set up and you need to create the database and it supports Postgres and Oracle. And here's the procedure for how to create an external, right? And basically you go with yum Postgres 11 or Postgres 12. And I'm going to go with the newer one. So we'll start with the PSQL, right? So we're going to yum install PostgreSQL 12 contrib. And yeah, it's going to be quite sequential actually, what I'm doing right now. No much for, okay, probably it's going to be related to a PEL release, right? Postgres, for install, yum install, okay, maybe number 11 would work. Okay, and we immediately go to our trusty CentOS 8 install PostgreSQL. Not sure why it didn't work. Okay, I already, there's the DigitalOcean thingy step. DNF model list PostgreSQL. Let's see how it works with DNF. And there is DNF. So we'll go with DNF install PostgreSQL. What it says. All right. Okay. So we're going to be say install PostgreSQL 12. Just because documentation didn't mention that 13. No, what did I do wrong? Module enable. Oh. Okay. DNF. I'm going to copy this. Why? I can copy this. No, Control U. All right. Let's go. Yes, it is okay. So we enable the module, and then we can say install Postgres server. So that's quite different from the procedure that we used over here. And probably I can submit some feedback and you say, okay, it seems that I need to go to the master node. So when we read the documentation, as you see, it refers to the switch chart zip file that actually has a DB configuration script. So I'm not going to ignore it because, well, why would I ignore it? That would be completely nonsensical. So unzip this one and no, and then unzip the chart. And we're going to use as many configuration scripts as we can because this is still the suite installation. So that's very nice because I can install the package over here and then just use a script to configure it all, right? So, and DB enable you to generate a SQL script that can be run to create the databases. Okay, and what we need to do then, go to scripts, the script from the required values for default value. Okay, the script generates SQL, remove in the current working directory. Then we copy the SQL files to the database server. And I just wonder because when you create the database, right? When you create the database, there are some restrictions to this database. For example, external access, which is not referred here really. By default, when you install PostgreSQL, you get blocked for external access, right? So there we go, and start creating a new PostgreSQL cluster. So we need PostgreSQL initDB, right? So we need to go into initDB. This is not listed. This is very important. And then it's going to be start. As you see, many of those things. So let's go system, CTL, status. What's the status? PostgreSQL, right? PostgreSQL. And it's loaded, but it's not started, right? So with the installation script would not actually suffice. You need to start, and then we will see the status that it is running, and then you need to actually enable. I think it was kind of enabled. Oh, no. But still, the database needs to be enabled. So we are going to provide some feedback over here, right? We'll go to the very bottom and send us feedback. And I'm going to say that your feedback, the PSQL install steps are not sufficient. Please check this guide and you will see that there are 10 more steps to be added. Okay, and this is how we contribute while we develop our own environment, just contributing of our knowledge to the communal knowledge, which would allow us to configure it properly. Okay, so now we go roles and database. So we're not going to go and create roles and databases, but we are going to configure external access. All right, so this is no longer relevant. However, now we get to check, right? So I'll go yum install telnet on all of the machines, -y. Okay, yum install telnet -y. And I'm just installing telnet on all of the machines because I like to cross-reference things, right? So we go telnet, CDF DB, 5432, and cannot connect because it is refused. And this is quite expected. There is nothing to be afraid about it. And luckily, I have a procedure that would allow me to actually go inside and fix this. I just need to find. Okay, so first of all, we are going to edit. Oh, come on. We're going to edit this thing. And we need to add a thing or two over here. I believe that I need to just go and replace the whole table. So we'll go Control K on the whole thing and paste it. So the difference is that it allows trust and peer access from outside, I think, right? And yeah, I'm just going to keep it as it is, just because I know that it works. Okay, and then the second file. So the first one just defined what kind of access is allowed from external sources, right? And basically it says where everything goes. Now the second thing is list and address needs to be everything. I mean, I can secure it a little bit more, but in fact, I'm not going to do it. It's going to be everything. And I'm going to go system ctl restart PostgreSQL. And now when I go ahead and try it, I think from here, I'm able to connect, which is exactly what we wanted. So now our PostgreSQL is ready, and I'm going to power off. Yes, I'm going to power off, and I'm going to have a snapshot saved of this thing because I like incremental snapshot, because if I make a mistake somewhere, I'll be able to go back. Okay, and I'm going to say PSQL 12 installed and access configured. Okay, that's going to be in the name of the snapshot. And as you see, it's pretty fast when the servers don't run any heavy software on them at the moment. Right, and we're going to do the same thing for Vertica, and there are going to be many, many things that we do. Okay, and run the server. Okay, the server is running. Fantastic. So in a second or so, we will connect back. And let's see. So we don't need to use this DigitalOcean thing anymore. And we need to go to DB generator, okay, on master, which is super weird, right? If you think about it. So I'm going to the object switcher. No, come on. That's not what I meant. I'm going to Osbridge Suite chart, LL. The file says that it's in the scripts directory, right? So go to scripts, and we're going to be visiting scripts quite a lot. And here we have the DBSQL generator, which should create the, what it should create? The SQL files, right? So we're going to run this thing, DBSQL generator. Let's see what it says. Please enter for 0 for O for Oracle, P for Postgres. Okay, I'm going to say P. Enter the IDM database user. So the default one is IDM. I'm going to use database users. And then we are going to create default passwords. And this is where I'm going to use copy paste over here, because I need to make sure that the passwords are exactly what I need them to be. So that's going to be 1, confirm, second one, confirm. This is what I like about demo environments. I don't need to be very, oh no. And I'm going to run it one more time. P, IDM, autopass, BVD, passwords. Now, confirm password, third password. Okay, database name, autopass, ITM, BVD, Postgres. Enter the schema, autopass schema, BVD database schema. Do you want to include query for CDF API, a CDF IDM database? Okay, true. Enter the config DB API password, confirm. Enter the CDR database, okay. So basically we're going to put the whole thing in the whole suite. Do you want to include query to create database for OBM? No, actually that's going to be false. Do you want to include query to create monitoring admin database? Monitoring admin database. That one is false as well. I'm not going to use the, okay. Query to create credential manager database. What is credential manager database? Okay. Okay, database for what's credential manager database for OBM, for example. It's going to be false. Okay. CMS gateway database. Credential CMS gateway database. I don't even know what it means. Do I want to include query to create CMS gateway database? Okay. Oh, right. Okay, so here we have the files. And, before I proceed, probably, I should already configure the access without SSH passwords to all of the servers, just because it was a thing that, okay, prepare, backup, ensure work is not run, prepare and manage continuous backup, configure permissions. It's not configure password SSH. Perform the steps only if you are upgrading by using auto upgrade thing inside the cluster. Okay, password is asymmetric cryptographic key. Okay. Create a keeper. Actually, it says that I need to use it only for the upgrade. So you know what? Let's skip this step. Yep. You see? We're moving somewhere. Okay, so SCP, create SQL and this file to DB CDF DB root. Okay, we're going to copy those two files. We say yes. We say yes with the full word, and we specify the file, the thingy. Okay, and now we can connect back to our PostgreSQL and find both of those files over here. Right. I think I might not have access to that thing, to those files. Okay, so Postgres, PSQL, minus file. Can I list the directory? Where am I? This is home. Okay, so I'm going to exit and I'm going to copy this file. And this file to here. Can I do that? Yeah, okay, cool. So we'll go with soup Postgres, we'll list the directory, and now we can use the PSQL create SQL. Right, so first would be, we actually have create and then remove. Okay, so permission denied. Why? Oh, right, because I have it copied locally. Oh, the procedure is not configured properly at all, huh? Okay, there we have it. That was fast. Create the database manually. Okay, and we're not going to do that. So that's what we did. Prepare the relational database. Now it's going to say prepare PostgreSQL. Oh, it actually embedded the whole document that I used over here into this procedure, which is not what we're going to do. Now it is going to say Postgres parameter settings. Describe the recommended values for number of Postgres database initiation parameter. However, depending on values, you might need to increase some values. Okay, and I don't think that there was an opportunity for me to edit it at all. Right, so I think it's the one that says, okay, 1 second, exit, no, exit. So, oh man, this is going to be a very, very, very long sequence of the videos, right? We might need to break it down into several. Okay, PostgreSQL, probably the parameters are somewhere here. Right. So let's see what they say about those parameters. So shared buffers. Shared buffers. Let's keep alive. Shared buffers. There we go. Yes. So shared buffers, evaluation. Whoa, that is quite a lot. Okay, so we're not using OBM, right? So it says evaluation, medium or large, but that's not what we need to do here. So just to make it a little bit clearer or better, I'm going to double the size over here to 256. The next parameter would be working memory, temp buffers, working memory. Oh, there's quite a lot of things to change here, right? But what we want a stable, uh, database. So we will try and comply with the table. I'm going to put it here on my second screen, so I'll be able to replicate a little bit better. Maintenance, work memory, 128. Okay, yeah, I'm going to 64. Actually, not bad compared to right. You know, it's 128. I know that it's not going to be used by UCMDB and OBM together, but still, effective cache size. Let's see. Should I start using search? Max connections. Oh, max connections actually very important. I remember it. I remember it from from my AOS problems. So we are going to use search. Max connections is 100. Let's say make it 1000. Okay. Max wall size. Max wall size 1 GB. Yeah, it's actually pretty much, yeah, not bad. Effective cache size. Okay, Control W, effective. Okay, let's see how many. Effective cache size 4 GB by default, doesn't really matter. Checkpoint. Checkpoint. Let's see. Checkpoint. What checkpoint means? Let's continue searching. Checkpoint, timeout, checkpoint, timeout. 10 min or 10 on 20 minutes. It's actually, it sits on a 5 minute. I don't think it's too bad. Auto vacuum, vacuum threshold. Control W. Vacuum. Auto vacuum is on. Auto vacuum, analyze vacuum threshold. I don't think that I need to deal with auto vacuum because I'm not going to write into it like crazy, right? Unless BVD is writing into it temporarily. Auto vacuum, vacuum threshold. And let's set it to half of what the doctor recommends. No, you know, it says 5,000 for all of them. So analyze threshold is going to be 5,000 as well. So we're going to uncomment it. Antivirus scale factor is going to be 1.0 according to the documentation. We're going to say analyze scale factor. It's actually already, no, that one we will uncomment. This one is okay. Log mean duration statement. Commit delay, max walks per transaction. Okay, let's see. commit delay is 0. Oh, actually, we need to change it. All right, so commit delay is going to be 500, as the doctor's ordered. Max locks per transaction, so max locks per transaction 64. Yep, let's uncomment it and say 512. I think that's about it. So I'm going to say that we are ready. Now, there is like this next section that says enable TLS in Postgres, but you may skip this topic. I'm not. I'm actually going to skip this topic because I don't want TLS in places that I can avoid them because there's just too much of it anyway. So we're going to say power off, and we are actually going to snapshot the new Postgres. And this concludes the section number 1. I know that it was started like a full-fledged video for everything, but it seems that there are too many sections, and it's going to be easier consumed by sections like separated by topics. So let's see you in the next one, where we would be probably configuring Vertica, which is super fun on its own. See you in the next